My bad. My bad.
Oh
Sorry.
yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Well, hey everyone. How are you doing? This is the Three Strangers podcast. I'm joined by myself, Ryan,
I'm Nick.
Bill.
and we all like to watch scary movies.
Sometimes,
Big shout out to sometimes.
Sometimes.
And maybe in this episode we like to write scary movies.
Whoa.
Mhm.
I can't wait. I'm actually pumped. That was awesome.
I'm so pumped for it too. But before we start doing that, we got a few people that we gotta thank, and a few people we gotta introduce.
What?
So, in terms of people we gotta thank Sam, of course, for producing our main theme, and we gotta thank Nick for composing it. But if you guys realized, I didn't mention someone who I always mention, and that's because we have 1 out of 2 special guests today. Our first one, he's an audio engineer. He creates music.
Wow.
He's not single, ladies, so don't be hitting him up in the DMs. It is Skippy Midnight.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There he is.
I thought I was giving Mark Ruffalo. This is better though. This is way better. This is way better. This is way better.
You tried Mark Ruffalo. This is the next best thing,
Yeah,
if
he
not
wasn't-
better.
It's not return our calls.
I couldn't
It's
schedule
not
him. I'm
return our
sorry.
calls.
I couldn't schedule him.
Wait, so does this mean now that our second special guest is like now the third option? If
Yeah.
we're going with like Mark Ruffalo,
So-
Definitely.
Skippy.
There's no one higher
Well-
than this, I guess.
Well, I don't want to start off like that. Let's start off by saying
Alright.
she's a singer, she's an actress, she's talented, she's a beauty.
Oh.
She is Brianna. Let's
Hey.
go.
Hi.
Oh.
I'm flattered, thank you.
No problem. No problem.
Wow, this is a
Man.
crew. This is a crew.
I know this is the first episode where we have guests.
Yeah.
Your clout is finally high enough.
The cloud.
We finally have enough clout to get guests.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But how are you guys doing? How's everyone doing?
Good.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm fine, Ryan. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, thanks, Ryan.
I don't know where I'm going with this thing. Yeah, continue, Ryan.
All right, so we're just gonna jump right into the episode.
All right. Yeah.
All right, so our this episode is gonna be based around us writing, not a script per se, but like a story, our own horror movie. We're gonna be the writers. We're gonna basically make everything about our horror movie. So before this podcast, I made you guys write some things. I know I made you write some characters. I made you write a name of like your movie. Basically a little plot overview, all of that. So I have a little thing planned for it, and I want to do that first before we kind of say what our separate things are, because at first I want us to combine them. So how we are going to do that. So in terms of everyone's story, you should have the name of it.
Mhm.
You should have your protagonist.
Mhm.
You should have your antagonist. You should have your time period that it's set in. And you should have your little overview of what happens. So if you guys would notice, that's 5 different things, and there's 5 different people.
Mhm.
So I have a little bit of a wheel, and I'm going to spin it. And whichever person it lands on will give their thing.
Oh.
Oh God.
So
Okay.
Okay.
once
This
we
is
have
great.
all 5s, that's when we will make our story.
Cool.
Now the hope is it gets really jumbled up and like
Yeah.
so we're gonna have to try to explain
So
shit.
you're looking for Mad Libs here. Okay. Alright,
Basically,
okay.
it'll kind of be like a Mad
Mishmash
Lib.
horror story.
I'm loving this.
Exactly. So we're gonna start with the name of our movie. So I have my little wheel up. I have all of your guys' name, and I'm gonna click on it, and we're gonna say.
Oh boy.
So it's spinning. It is spinning, and it has landed on Skippy.
Oh God.
Whoa.
Okay. This is like the one
So
thing
what is
I didn't like. So I have two different names, but I'm gonna give one just for because that's what I should do. So I guess I'm gonna go with Sleepwalker as the name.
Sleepwalker.
Nice.
All right. All right.
All
Let
right.
me write that down. Sleepwalker.
Yeah, I'm gonna write this down too.
Oh, I could probably do that.
All right. Next, we have our protagonist. Our protagonist or protagonist, depending on your story.
Protagonista.
So we're gonna exactly. So we're gonna spin the wheel.
Ooh, who's it gonna be?
It is spinning. And it is gonna land on me. Oh, it lands on me.
Hey.
Hey.
All right.
Oh.
So I have one protagonist in my story, and her name is Mary, and she is deaf.
Oh.
Oh.
I like this.
This is this is
Yeah.
fucked.
Oh no.
We already got a story. We already got a story. This is great.
All right.
Okay.
Now
Okay.
we need our antagonist. So, or antagonist.
Antagonista.
So
Don't call me.
we're gonna spin the wheel. Oh, I'm hoping it's Bill now since he's saying that.
No,
Don't get me.
don't do me because it's gonna really ruin it.
I spun and it is. Oh, you're lucky, Bill. It was
Ooh.
very close to getting you. It's actually Brianna.
Oh, good.
Oh.
Good.
So antagonist, right?
Yep.
Okay. So the antagonist, I kind of went a little vague on this. He's a stalker. He's like unknown. I went for that, like he was unknown by the protagonist. He's there and he's like wreaking havoc, but they don't know who he is. So like
Okay.
it's a guy who's a stalker. So if that works,
Ooh.
so let's hope it does.
Okay,
Okay,
this is.
that works.
Did we?
This is starting to become fun.
Yeah. You know what the most horrible part of this is? I was thinking home invasion. So.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see. The next is we have time period.
Okay.
So
All right.
let's see
Um,
what time period. We're spinning, and it is Nick. Your time period. So what time period is
shit.
this?
Oh,
Oh, and Nick is gone. So
You're gone.
he's back.
There he
I
is.
am. Hello.
I don't
Did you
see
call
him.
my? I get picked.
Yeah, it was yours.
Your time period.
I was like,
Yeah.
oh, time period. Let me just. I was gonna say.
He was
So I
like,
was gonna
bye.
say modern day, specifically when apps such as like Snapchat and Maps are a thing that show people's location.
Oh.
Oh.
Well,
Yeah.
Bill, I don't need to spin the wheel.
Right.
Okay, I feel like that kind of fits with the
Yeah,
stalker though.
yeah. See, that's why like you said
Yeah.
stalker, and I was like, oh, this is we're all on the right track.
That's
So
really
my-
weird how this ended up.
Yeah.
Let's hear the overview. Now this
My,
is where it could get really fucked up.
This is now. All right. Yeah, I was working off a different set of blueprints, but I think it could work. I think it could work. So there was. This is sort of based on real life. There was this guy in the 50s in the southern United States that would, in the middle of the night, break people's windows and pump gas in through their windows and suffocate them to death.
Gas,
Yeah.
like a poisonous gas, like
Yeah, like
Wow.
specifically like poisonous gas, and like he would like find their bedrooms and he would pump gas in.
Oh my
It's
god!
called the monsoon gas.
And
The
she's
monsoon gas.
and she's deaf. Oh
Yeah.
no.
So my overview was gassing people inside their homes. Yeah,
this could go really
Oh, no.
badly.
this could go
right now.
very bad.
this is something.
So this is dark as shit. This is
Yeah.
dark as shit. Right now.
Yep. Yep.
Alright, so what we have is the name of the movie is Sleepwalker. It's our protagonist is Mary, who is deaf.
Mhm.
The antagonist is an unknown stalker. It's in the modern day with snap maps and everything, and the overview is that there's someone gassing people in their homes. So
And how
I
is she
think,
gonna
you know-
fight against this?
yeah, so it's very interesting because I think this one we could make into it. Like this could be a cohesive
Yeah, we can make this
It's
work.
not as
It can work. It
zany
can work.
as like there
Yeah.
are worse plots for horror movies.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
The Witch.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Don't go there.
Yeah.
Bill, he's
Oh.
saying that because I told him that mine was kind of like the Vetch.
Yeah, yeah.
But like,
Really?
my goal is to make it better. My goal is to make it better.
My original plot was gonna be called Reefer Madness, and it was gonna have people smoking weed that like caused them to turn into killers. So,
That's great.
Yeah.
Oh my
no,
god.
this is my second draft. So I hope you guys like.
Second draft.
So funny, but all right, let's make our cohesive story out. of
Okay.
this.
All right.
So I think the best link up that we have is that he's going to gas Mary's house,
Mary.
but he becomes obsessed
Yeah.
with her.
And Mary
So it's
knows.
like a you situation, like Joe from You, kind of.
Yeah,
Mm.
Oh my god.
because I think that'd be our best play. Because what would be Mary if we had to think of a profession where he could find her? There really is none. You know, it would be like
Right.
he's going to.
Well, like, what
gas
if
her
it's like a
house.
job related to his crimes? Like he does like an air conditioning, like he's an air conditioner fixer.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, that's Yo, CFC's right in your fucking living room.
Because then he like knows the house and he like knows the person and he
Oh.
can become obsessed with her
Yes.
because he knows her.
Yes.
There it is.
Like, you get what I mean?
Yes, that's really good.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And because
All right.
Right.
So we have their connection. We have their connection.
Here's my thing.
We
Here's my
have an
thing.
intro. We have an intro.
the intro is the guy putting the AC in. Pan in on a worker in a house putting AC in, showing the deaf. Is it a deaf woman? Is Mary a deaf woman?
Yes.
Can we make
Yes.
this a little less stereotypical? I feel like
Oh,
Mary
yeah, of course.
is right off the bat way too.
Well, the reason that I did Mary was because my original story was going to be in the 17th century.
Oh, okay.
So I went.
So
Whoa.
let's see.
Mary.
Okay, so Mary, that makes sense.
Yes.
hmm
So I went for a very, very common name.
So we're
Biblical
so
name.
17th century woman in the 21st century.
Yeah.
Time traveler.
Here's my thing though. I think in my head, this dude kills because of a religious motive. Like this is like ritualistic for him, and that's why I think the name Mary is kind of good
Mm.
because
Oh,
of that.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so are we thinking like?
Like I don't.
Ma-
You guys like that
I mean,
though? Like why does he?
This is getting way
You
too
know.
Christian. I feel like it's getting too Christian, but I'm gonna ask anyway.
It is
Is
getting
she
a little
supposed to be like
Christian.
Mary Magdalene in his eyes? Or isn't Mary Magdalene
Yeah,
like
or-
like the
Oh.
slut? The slut of the Christian
Yeah, no,
world.
you're right. No, you're right. Sorry, I don't mean that.
No, I actually like that. I mean, that gives motive to our killer.
Psychological,
Yeah.
Yeah.
psychological
And it's
motive.
something that we talked about in previous episodes where movies does the killer have to always have a motive?
Mm.
Right.
And
It helps.
I think if you have a good motive, it helps a lot.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I think if there's something with religion to him, because we could go, well, then we start going into then is he at this point an unknown stalker anymore?
Right.
If we start,
Well, like
having
I
dive
I
into
sort of
his-
in my head, I guess with the air conditioner guy fixing idea, I don't know, as weird as it sounds, but like he like obviously they would know each other from that,
Mhm.
but then if like there's like a stalker stalking her, she doesn't know who it is,
Yeah.
but like as
Right.
the audience, you kind of know.
Oh, like an
Like-
irony kind of situation.
You get it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh.
Kind of like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
And like in the beginning when he's like with the air conditioner, we could like pan to like the TV saying like a recently found murdered like family guest in their own home.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Like, so that's how you set up that there's a killer on the loose right off the bat.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I got an idea now. Further on, I mean, are we just flowing with ideas now, or
Oh, you could just flow with the
Alright,
ideas. It
alright.
doesn't need to be in order of the
So-
story.
okay? So the beginning would, start off with that, and then maybe some like a report, like you were saying. What if the the shot is at the front of the house, and it's the guy leaving, kind of
Mhm.
just I guess he's not going to be talking to her, but like,
Yeah.
hey, you know what? Let's throw in some sign language. He's going to be signing to her because he knows how to sign language.
Oh,
But then
did he learn how to
he
sign
learned how to
for
sign
her?
for her because of how much he stalks her.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, that's not wholesome. Okay, not wholesome.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
That in a way sets it up that
Yeah.
this has been happening even before, like he's been stalking her even before the movie began.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So then, what I was thinking is, what if it was a little bit of a forced perspective from outside of the house and what he sees only?
Sure.
Ooh, yeah. So like
Ooh.
he's the antagonist. Well, he's like the. So then, wouldn't that be like that? He's like the protagonist because it's like from his perspective. Because he's not necessarily like a good guy, but like You know what I mean?
I meant, so I didn't mean like a first person perspective, but like
okay.
only shot from outside of the house.
Oh,
So like
yeah.
through
So-
windows
Right.
and
Yeah.
doors.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a cool idea.
But does he enter the house at any point? Like, would he?
Well,
We,
yeah, sorry, what were you going to say, Ryan?
I was gonna say if we're starting at how we said, it would be he's just leaving, like he just put in
Right.
the air conditioner,
Well,
and you can have
yeah.
the fan outside, so you know what his profession is,
Mhm.
and like shit like that. And like
Yeah.
in the first scene, you could have her like turn it on, and that could hint towards like
Mhm.
What
That-
if he
that was
purposely
just
like
done.
messes it up so that he could keep coming back
Oh.
Yeah. Good
Ooh,
idea. Good
yeah.
idea.
to like learn more about her?
Here's my thing though. So right from the very beginning, we know that he's the killer or the would-be killer. So it's not a mystery to us at all, right?
Mhm.
That's what we're going with.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So we just got to make sure, right, that she doesn't know. But
We'd have to
audience
make
does
sure
know.
it's obvious that the audience knows, but she, as a character, wouldn't be able to know.
Right.
Sure.
Mhm.
We have to be careful with that because I'm assuming Mary's smart.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, we're
yeah.
not gonna make Mary
Yeah.
a sub character.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I think though, because we're giving so much that of stuff that Mary wouldn't see. So
Mhm.
as the audience we would know, but her character never saw it in the film, therefore she doesn't know.
So maybe we could break it off, right? We get started really fast in the beginning. He goes into his car, and maybe there's a bunch of papers just on her house. Maybe it's like diagrams and maps and
Oh, that's fucking.
Would she be like his first like serious like obsession, or like would he have like committed crimes in the
Hmm.
past? Do you think?
I think
I don't
he
know if
did
that's
crimes,
relevant.
like he was playing the killer, but he became obsessed with her.
Right.
Like something about her. It's that Mary thing. Like
Mhm.
her name's
But he's
Mary.
like
Very
killed other
ruthless.
people in the past, but her it's like something special. Got
so
it.
okay. So
Yeah.
also maybe we hang a cross from his rearview mirror, put a Bible
Mhm.
maybe in his
Ooh.
passenger seat.
I like that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
All right. We got something
We
churning.
got something churning here.
This
Yeah.
is good.
All right. So then, when do you think? So it is going to be a horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
So when is our first aspect of horror going to be shown within the movie? How are we going to start introducing this horror element? Is it going to start with like
Like-
light stalking? Something
If
in the
after he
house?
like goes to her house, he like goes to his own house, and you see like maybe on his walls he's got like a bunch of information on her, like pictures of her, like stereotypical stalker
Mm.
home,
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
you
Mhm.
know,
Yeah.
like right off the bat, you
Wow.
know he's a crazy.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that as the movie goes on, he should take more and more risks to like get close to her.
Mhm. Right.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
that's a good
Yeah.
idea.
I'm getting this very specific horror image in my head, and this is like I don't like it's something we can talk about later. But so she's deaf, right? She cannot hear
Yeah.
anything, right? There's something I've always liked, and I think this was played upon in Hush. Sorry, I couldn't think of it for a second. Where like it's like he would be very in a close proximity to her, and there could be like a shot where like she is just about to turn around and like he like knocks her out, or she like barely sees him or something like
Oh,
that.
right, because you can't hear him. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's this whole like mystery thing. Like she's like, and then maybe like he doesn't even do anything, but she's like, oh my god, I got attacked by somebody last night, or like something like that, you know?
Mhm.
Or like
Oh my God.
because she's deaf and he can like sneak up behind her, he could just get really close and just make sure he doesn't get in her line of sight. But like he doesn't actually do anything. He's just like watching her, but she
Oh,
never
God.
catches him because she can't hear him.
Mhm.
Also, to
It's
go
really
off
scary.
Like, stuff like
Bill's
that.
to go off of Bill's plot with the whole gas thing, like he could gas her and then that way, but like only a certain amount to like make her sleep instead of
Yeah.
like kill
So-
her.
Yeah, killing her.
So to give her AC, because he knows how it works.
Right.
Right, yeah. So
Disorienting. Yeah, disorienting. Yeah.
right, yes. That way she would be even less aware of his presence in like inside her home and everything.
Oh my god.
Oh, we could do some very cool like hallucination shots.
Oh yeah.
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 Oh
Before
god.
it's
Like,
like
This
That's kind of where he has such a big advantage because she can't hear him. He could like break into her house while she's like sleeping, put like the gas, and she would have no idea because she can't hear anything.
Yeah. It could totally be a thing. Like he could get away with it so easily. Fuck. This is really scary. Fuck. Whatever the protagonist is this like depowered is like really fucking scary.
Yeah.
So okay,
This dude can do.
I have another, and this is, I mean, it's kind of back to Mary. If we're going along with like, her looking like Mary Magdalene from the Bible, which I didn't think this would become religious, but I guess we're rolling with it.
no,
Yeah.
we're going with it.
Is she like? Now, I think this is an important conversation to have.
Sure.
If what if she was of like Middle Eastern descent?
Hmm.
Now, because of Mary being Mary Magdalene, who Bible takes place in the Middle East, he's thinking like this must be her. And she is kind of reborn.
Oh, he's like delusional.
Yeah, absolutely delusional.
Yeah,
I like that.
we could. Yeah,
Who does he think he is?
Oh, maybe like if he has like somebody who he lives with, like an older mother or like a grandmother who's like always so religious, so it like embedded itself into him, so he has these ideals.
What if he's like
then-
obsessed with his
like
mom?
like a Carrie situation, kind of like how
Like
the
a
mom
what?
is super religious.
Hmm.
Like and
Yeah,
has the-
and like those ideals were like embedded into him, and so like he probably lives with her still or something.
Right. He takes
And like
care of her.
then it's like, yeah, exactly, and he like admires her, and he's like, oh, like telling her how he met like Mary Magdalene herself, like this is her, like some craziness.
Mhm.
we could have the mom keep on referring to herself as like Mary and like her husband as Joseph. So then,
Oh,
he thinks, like,
yeah.
he's Christ.
Ooh.
Like he thinks he's
Some like
he's the
weird
prophet.
craziness going on. Yeah. Oh, that'd be
Yeah.
crazy.
And like
Wow.
for him, his killing people could be like people he deems like not worthy or something like that.
Like Judas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
he sees himself, since he sees himself as like the prophet and like the Messiah or something, he's like he sees himself as the judger. Like he can
Yeah.
judge anyone.
To go purify.
uh,
Yeah.
and then that's how we kind of show like that difference between him and Jesus, like because Jesus wasn't like the
Yeah.
killer.
Yeah.
Do you want, should
I love
Yeah,
how we
could
got
be
like religion and Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, where did Nick
Oh.
go?
Something about it. Yeah. Fuck.
Hmm.
This is good. I'm trying to think. I guess the next thing we should think like a vague like overview, like falling action versus like a climax
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
How do we do this? Yeah. How we go about this?
So we got the characterization. We have to be careful. Mary Magdalene is considered Jesus' wife. So
Oh, I didn't know that. Is that true?
yeah,
I didn't
suppose
know that.
she was. Yes, who Mary Magdalene, who like witnessed his crucifixion and stuff like that. So we have to kind of detach him from. He can't consider himself holy. I don't think. I think he should.
Be working towards
I don't know.
salvation, or like be working towards.
Like he's just trying to get all the pieces of the puzzle, kind of. I guess. Like
Yeah. So
once he like completes that puzzle.
yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what is his goal, and depending on what his goal is, we would find out who he views himself as. I mean, does he view himself as the devil and thinking that she's Mary Magdalene, thinking that she's like a prostitute, she's a sinner?
What if we do like he thinks that he's Jesus when in reality he's more like the devil.
Oh
You know what
yeah.
I mean?
Oh,
Like through his actions he's more
Oh, and like
devil.
his breaking point can be like that breaking point right before he does something really bad can be like his mother or like the woman saying like or like Mary saying like you're crazy, like you're not who you think you are, like you have the devil in you. That could be like his breaking point where he's
Yeah.
like
yes.
he's like screw this and then just
Yeah.
absolutely goes insane.
So then a good question is, do we want Mary to be religious? Do we think that we should make her religious or make her like not religious at all? Like
I think she's
I
lapsed.
think so. I think
she's
it's just
zero.
her name is like the
Yeah.
only relation,
Mhm.
but he sees it so strongly or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
like that. So when do we want that breaking point to be? Do we want it to be in the middle and then we just switch the tone for the end to like a like kind of like a Goodnight Mommy in a way?
I'm
I haven't
thinking-
seen it, but like
I'm thinking 3/3, and that happens at between third 2 and 3. That's how I think most horror movies deal with stuff like that, because you don't want to go ape shit too early. You know what I'm saying?
And it's like the anticipation of like what's gonna push him over the
Mhm.
edge. When is he gonna go crazy?
Right.
Mhm.
So, like with Mary Magdalene being a sinner and everything, what if he catches her with another guy that she actually like knows?
Oh, like her boyfriend or
Yes.
something that he didn't know that she
Yeah.
Big,
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah, like when he's stalking her, it's like the sins keep adding up.
Oh.
He kills him. He kills him.
Yes.
He has to kill him.
Yep.
Murders him.
He has to kill him. Yep. Holy shit.
And we should
Guys,
make it
this
so
is so
that
good.
that
Wow.
person, we like set him up to be like the main like guy
Yeah.
like, of the movie.
Yeah.
So like when we kill him
Yeah.
off, it's like, oh my god, wait.
Yes. Fuck. When does this happen? When does this happen? Man, should there be like a flashback or something? Or do we want to tell this in a linear order? Or are we thinking that there should be because it should be a case study of their relationship, I think. But
Yeah.
Mm.
I don't know how to.
I think
Yeah.
oh my god, well I think it should be told in kind of like an Oculus style of like
Oculus.
the movie it like goes in like it follows its plot, but sometimes to explain something it'll flash back to like a little bit before
Yeah.
to then back
Mm,
into the now.
Okay.
I think that would be
interesting.
I think they do it very well in that movie. If
Yeah.
you haven't seen Oculus, I 100% recommend it. But
Mhm. So
I think doing it that style.
okay.
Like you mean like going back into the stalker's childhood and just looking at it that way and stuff?
I think
like
starting with their relationship, because like in Oculus, to like give a little bit of a plot thing, it's like about a mirror. So when they go to the flashback, the very first flashback is them moving into the house with the new mirror. So for this, it could be the start of their relationship, like when she needed her air conditioner fixed,
Right.
and he was there. He didn't know how to respond to her or anything, and that's how you're like, oh, in the beginning, he starts speaking sign language, like he learned it for her, you know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, got it. Yeah.
Mhm.
I understand now.
So I think that would be. I think having a few flashbacks. I don't think bog the movie down with flashbacks,
Sure.
but like
Mhm.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
have, like 2 or 3
Good
really
touch,
good
though.
ones. that-
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Just for a little like
I think-
exposition for other
yeah.
things.
Little
Mhm.
exposition.
Yeah, I get
Mhm.
it.
And like I think if we have one, once per act. So have one for the first act, one for the second, and one for the third act.
Okay.
Sure.
Mhm.
It's a good idea.
So now we've just talked about how like at some point in the movie there's going to be a falling out between them because she's too much of a sinner and
And that
she's,
would be, like,
not the
his-
prophet.
Yeah, and then he like goes crazy on her, and would he kill
Yeah,
her
so
or just
what-
like maybe trap her and hold her hostage or something?
Or try to kill her and fail.
I think he would be a holder hostage, but want to kill her, but not be able to. Like he can't bring himself. To
Yeah.
Yeah,
do
because
it.
he still sees her as like
Mhm.
Mary.
Yeah.
So then this
Magdalene.
leads to, does it become like a torture porn for the third act?
No.
No.
Because he's not
No.
killing her.
No.
He's not.
I think it's just him trying to hype himself up to get to the point where he can hurt her, but he never can because he's just like in love with her or something.
Yeah.
Mhm. Oh,
And it's
we
like
could
her
have,
trying to
his
escape?
Demise. We could have the demise be the air conditioner since he always breaks it. Like this time, like something happened and like it could be his own demise.
True.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Mhm.
Demise to
True.
the air conditioner.
True. True. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, no, that sounds good. No, yeah,
Listen,
you gotta make sure
I
it's
just
not
want to
40.
say, it like I think because we've seen throughout the movie at this point that he keeps on making it so it doesn't get fixed, and like by this point,
big brain, big brain. Yeah, you're right. You're
by
right.
this point, something would happen. Like she could do something to it that causes,
Oh.
not explosion, but like it's something around those lines to where
Where she can
it could
escape.
really, so it could
Okay.
lead her to escape.
I gotcha.
And
I got-
like we could have her escape or something and him go after her, but like before he gets out, like the air conditioner just full on,
Like if he's
blows up,
explaining
kills
to
him in the
her,
house.
like if she's like, oh, like what's wrong? And then he like explains the pathway of where the vents go. And then later on in the movie, she like remembers that he told her where the vents go so she can like get out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also,
Ooh,
he traps.
so then-
Like uses his own knowledge against him.
Yeah, he traps her in her own house
Okay.
Have to, yeah.
All right.
Oh.
because I think he would be too afraid to escape. He would be too afraid to see
Yeah.
because we could set something up with the neighbors since they know she's deaf and stuff that
Mhm.
they'll that or like they have cameras or something like that. Have something so like
Yeah.
the neighbors know she's deaf and like try to
Okay.
help her out.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
And we could have a neighbor come over there and get brutally murdered.
No,
I haven't-
we're
so
not
add
doing
more
bumbling
bodies
idiot
count.
cops though, right?
Oh, no bumbling idiot cop.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
always so annoying. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no. Just do a neighbor. A worried
Yeah.
neighbor.
Yeah, so we should talk about then who all dies in this movie. Like how who we haven't dying. How many death scenes?
Well, wouldn't it be?
'Cause I like
But
that.
like, what if like a neighbor knocks on the door and they're like, "I was just checking up on her. Who are you?" And then he like drags him in the house and just absolutely like destroys him.
Well, he could say, "Yeah, I'm the AC repairman."
Oh yeah, we
Oh,
could do it
that's
like we could do it like a
His
good
truck
night
is
mom.
charged
Yeah,
into the
yeah,
house for 4 days straight.
It's the AC repairman. That's funny.
But like, if his truck is like parked in the front for like 4 days straight, what is gonna happen? They're gonna be like,
Yeah.
Well, we could do it like a Goodnight Mommy where the kids have the spoiler alert where the kids have the mom tied upstairs and the Red Cross comes over.
Oh
And,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
They're like in
Yeah.
the house and they're having the conversation with them. And like the mom's trying to scream to get their attention. We could do something like that. Except maybe
"Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
They
Okay.
like
Yeah.
yeah.
Although it
Gotcha.
wouldn't. Remember, she's deaf, so it's not like she'd hear them. She'd have to be near a window.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, she would have to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do something like that.
she's in like an attic or something."
hmm
Yeah.
We
Or
could.
she can like feel the
So-
door.
oh, you know what we
something,
can
like the
do?
vibration of the door opening or something. I don't know.
So you know how we said like so she's deaf and we said like he'd be stalking her and like she'd kind of know. We could have her buy cameras and him not know about it. So
Oh,
when they
Yeah.
come, you could have it so like by that point she has the cameras she could see like from upstairs like where she is or something.
Oh,
because he
because
doesn't
it's
know
modern day.
about it. Yeah, because we're setting it in modern
So
day.
she has like a ring.
Yeah.
Mm.
And he won't know about it like well because they're very like easy to set up so that you can't see them.
Right.
right.
So I think that would be
Like,
how she
what-
figures out that the neighbor's there.
Okay.
And-
Right.
How she could figure out like how she could figure out that he's the stalker too. So I think
Okay.
it serves a dual purpose within.
Yeah, that's a good
Mhm.
idea.
So
Yeah.
are
Do you
we?
think she's like ever suspicious of it, or it comes out of nowhere for her? Like she suspects him being a little weird.
Mm,
I think she just sees him as very nice, since he's always
Okay.
there helping her out, learn sign
Yeah.
language. I think for her it never came out as
Like weird
creepy
to her.
stalkers
Got it.
at first, but
okay.
as the movie progresses, it gets a little bit more.
Yeah.
Well, that means she has to be unconscious when he enters the house, because she can't get the alarm. She'd have to get the alarm on her phone.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm. And that would make sense, the gassing, because it would be outside.
Mhm.
She wouldn't see it.
She'd open a window before she like goes wherever, and then he somehow gasses the house. She falls asleep,
Mhm.
and he breaks in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that'll be like the night before like the realization, because by then she'll have the camera, he won't know.
Mhm.
And she could be like, holy shit, it's
Mm.
fucking unknown stalker. Because we never
Yeah.
gave him a name.
Yeah.
I
What's,
was just gonna
what's-
say, like,
yeah,
should we name him?
we should name him. We should also describe what he looks like when he breaks into places. What's his like gear? You know?
Mhm.
Well, he's like
Mm.
probably
You know?
like typical, dressed as like a AC repairman worker, so people wouldn't suspect
Mhm.
anything.
Like all
Yeah.
blue.
Let's see what AC worker is dressed like.
I'm just AC worker over here.
Uniform, you know,
Workers,
like
uniform.
It's 12 o'clock at
I
night,
don't
but you
know.
know, I'm just here to fix your air conditioning.
yeah.
Got reports of an outage in this area,
Whoa.
so just, you know.
So where
Yeah.
where do we want to set this? Like what state, what country, what
Midwest.
whatever? Do we Midwest? What about like
Midwest.
in Texas?
Like suburban,
somewhere.
good, or is it more like rural and isolated?
Suburban?
AC should be important, like Arizona or some shit. You know? Like,
Yeah.
you really want your shit.
Somewhere
If it's like
dry.
We could do,
winter in New York, it's like all right.
Yeah.
All right.
We could do like right outside like of Phoenix, Arizona. So
Yeah.
like it's
Whoa.
a little bit more
I like
like
that.
Yeah.
rural area,
Mhm.
but
Sure.
you still have at least a few houses near you.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. Tucson, Arizona is a pretty good pick.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tucson
So-
ranked among the worst cities in America.
Oh,
Perfect.
perfect.
exactly where we want.
So that's
There
where all
we
the
go.
crazies look good.
Yeah, there we go.
So I think the last thing that we have is what's her arc? What would be her character arc throughout the movie?
Um, I have a theory. A theory. I have a. What if? And then one of the first lines of the movie, one of the first lines that she signs, because I mean, obviously it will have to be subbed when she is speaking. If one of her lines is like very briefly that she's an aspiring chemist,
Mm-hmm.
and hear me out.
Meth lab.
She mentions it once, but then uses the breaking down of the AC as like she learns how to like. I'm not a chemist, so I don't know, but like what gases mixed with a spark from the broken AC would cause an explosion or fire that sets the killer in the house.
Mhm.
I see what you
So
mean.
how old do we want to make her then? Is the next question. How old is
Like
Mary?
chemistry grad student, like 23, 24.
Yeah.
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 Early to mid 20s.
Hoping to apply
Yeah.
to like a chemistry program online.
Is COVID
Or
gonna be a
like,
thing
yeah.
in this movie?
And it doesn't.
Oh God! Please, God, no!
No, post COVID
No.
times.
No, God, no! Oh my God! Do not want to think about it.
And it could be one of those things where it's like in passing, she's like, "Oh yeah, like I'm a chemistry grad student," and then later on when she does the thing with the gas and the spark,
Yeah.
you're like, "Oh, it's because she's a chem grad student. She knows what
Yeah,
she's doing."
yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got
Yes.
it.
All right. And like we could have like little hints throughout the movie of like her studying.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's her time away from the phone.
The 3D little
Yeah.
models. I don't know.
Right. She can put on do not disturb mode so she doesn't get alerted when there's like when he's tapping out the window.
Oh, somebody at the yeah. Oh, dude, that's so crazy. Oh my god.
That's perfect. I think we have written a cohesive horror movie.
This is pretty cohesive.
This is yeah.
I want to make it,
I
but it
think
sounds
that
like
was
it'd be
pretty
high
good.
budget.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not a cheap
all the
movie, yo.
pyrotechnics.
Oh, the HVAC uniforms would be what a,
AC truck, AC repairman truck.
Yeah.
There's one thing we didn't connect. Which is very
what's that?
easy.
Okay.
It's the title of the movie is Sleepwalker. We could have
Oh shit.
the killer could be referred to as the Sleepwalker because
Well,
he kills people.
If you
oh,
want to use my other title, we can do that instead.
What?
Well, what's the
What's
other
the other
title?
title?
It was pure,
Yeah.
which is like
Oh,
because, like, religion.
That works. Yeah,
Pure.
that works.
Yeah.
pure.
Yep.
Oh God.
And then the AC company could be like Pure Air or whatever, like the company that he.
Oh,
That's actually a really good idea. Wow.
that's good.
That's
Andrew.
cool.
Okay,
that's
guys,
cool.
we need to write this movie. We
We need to write a whole
Yeah.
script, please.
Yeah, and hope that we don't have enough clout that some aspiring director and movie writer is.
Steals the idea.
Oh yeah, we're
yeah.
copywriting this, so don't you dare try to steal this.
Yeah. Although if you want to write it, you have to hire us all.
Yes. Yep.
Yes,
All five of
Exactly.
us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
like Spielberg, if you're gonna make this, let us know.
Mhm. M. Night Shyamalan, if you want to do this,
No,
it's
stay
okay.
away.
Please don't.
No, stay away from this shit. Oh my
So what would if M Night Shyamalan did this movie? What would be the twist that he would do?
The
What would
Last
be the
Airbender
crazy thing?
would come in?
Yeah, this is
And-
this is all a part of the Last Airbender. universe.
yeah, and the AC man is actually an airbender, and that's why he's an AC man.
No,
Oh,
I think it would be
fuck.
something dumb where if it was like his granddaughter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that sounded weird.
I was like, what?
That's kind of a fucked up twist. That's kind of good. That's a little good for M. Night Shyamalan. That's kind of
I'm
that's
really-
kind of good for him.
I'm really sad I just celebrated, but Manchester United just scored at that very point where you.
Oh my god.
Right?
Oh my God, right.
Oh, wow.
So,
Sorry, I'm very-
in terms of like scenes and stuff, what do you guys think would be like the creepiest scene of this movie? Like, what would creep you guys out?
Oh, like if he was right near her, but she couldn't hear him, so she didn't know he was there. But like they were
Yeah.
if they were really close, like he was so
I
close
have
to
an
her.
idea about that, but Nick,
Oh, you go.
no,
I have an idea too.
Okay, well, so like, what if she's like asleep, and he like lays down next to her? Wow.
No, okay. So she's not. She's deaf.
I
She's
know.
not-
I know.
No.
She can. But what if he uses the gas?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
When he has
Yeah.
the mask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he just lays down. He doesn't touch her. He doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
He just lays down next to her and stares at her for
Oh.
hours.
What if?
Yeah.
Hours.
Okay.
Or
What
he,
about?
like,
What if
talks
she?
to her a little bit,
And what if she?
like Bible verses?
he
and shit?
prays. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Praise for her. Yeah.
Oh my god.
And like tries to bless her.
Yep.
Oh my
So
God.
creepy.
Oh my gosh.
Nick, what were you gonna say?
And like when she like wakes up, she could like wake up with like a cross in her hand, and she's like, "What? Like, where did this come from?" Or
Or
something
like next
that.
to her, sitting next to her.
Yeah.
Like on the.
Yeah.
Like she's laid that way.
the cross from the
It's right.
from his rear view mirror. He
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. It's like
This
really
is actually
great.
sounding kind of creepy. This is getting creepy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I'm trying to think of like good shit that's not too hushy.
Yeah.
I like the idea
Yeah.
of like her doing something and he's like in the background and you know he's coming, like you know he's creeping, And like, oh fuck, like maybe he does something like so insane, like he like breaks a fucking window. Like it's just like, and like you know that she's deaf and she doesn't hear it, but oh fuck, I don't know, something
stuff from
about it.
her perspective sometimes. Like
Yeah, like if
it's
it's all
like
like
a shot of her, and like you see him in the background, you could have it so that you could hear like the light thing that like the deaf people hear, like that little like
The muted. Yeah, it's just muted.
yeah, like that muted.
It's super
Yeah, you know what I
muted,
mean? Like to have that sound playing as like he's behind her, or like
Oh,
something,
God.
and have it in like different scenes.
That's so fucked up. This is so scary.
Right?
So
Oh my
Because it
god.
puts you in the perspective of her like not hearing, and you hear what she's hearing as like this
Yeah.
dude's just behind her,
Right.
just doing the whoa.
That's so
Right.
crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So creepy.
unlike Hush, ours isn't. Our main character Mary isn't like in the Matrix, right? Like she can't like just turn around and she's like going to stab her. Like she's not like that.
Yeah, no.
No, I think she's just she's a very smart character.
Mhm.
Okay.
I don't.
She's
think
probably learned to
that
be
she's-
resourceful because of
Yes,
her
Okay.
hearing.
and
Mhm.
I think she's very strong, in the sense of like strong-willed.
Yeah.
and,
Okay.
like, all of that.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we should make her to be a very a character that you could root for, because
Right.
sometimes horror movies make you have characters that are like, oh, I hate them.
Yeah.
We should
Yeah.
make her very like root for her.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
We don't want to. I would hate to make. Yeah, I would hate to make the antagonist an anti-hero.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Especially because the other guy's so bad, you like want her to be
Yeah.
Hmm.
hmm
Nick, what were
Oh.
you gonna say earlier?
cool.
So what I was going to say doesn't actually make. I was thinking about it. It wouldn't make sense because she's deaf, which means she has hearing aids. The modern day.
Right.
And they are affordable. And I was going to say, while she's studying on the couch, we see maybe from like the TV's perspective, like facing her, we see her studying on the couch, and then he's standing right beside her, right behind her, not beside her, behind her.
Oh man.
So he's
I
above,
like that.
and she's below, and it's kind of a symbol. It's symbolism for like he thinks he's above her.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
hmm
I like that. I like that. Oh, wow.
Yes, I would see this movie. I would see this movie.
I
put
would
money.
see it.
This sounds pretty good.
I expected this to go a lot like more off the rails, but I think we ended up getting a really good mix of stuff that made sense together.
Cohesion. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a lot of cohesion. So, is there anything we want to add to this story before we kind of say we give like a little minute about what our original story was?
Oh fuck.
I think
Um,
honestly we came up with like all the perfect ideas like for this. I'm like
Mhm.
proud of us,
Yeah.
guys.
I think that I'm,
Yeah.
I'm happy that the wheel chose each person the way that it did, because if it
Yeah.
didn't,
Yeah.
it would have been completely different.
I was going to say this movie would have been completely different if
Yeah.
it picked me for different things.
hmm It for me. So I have one like direct. I mean, this is such a directorial thing. I think I'm doing. It involves like shots, like cinematography stuff. I feel like one of the last shots should be some kind of cross to kind of show
Ooh.
like the crucifixion of Jesus, kind of like alluding to the crucifixion of Jesus being like the end of it.
Yeah, like ending the circle of like events.
Yeah, and like Mary Magdalene was a witness to the crucifixion, so she could be like outside the house, and the house is burning,
yeah.
and then maybe like in the I don't know
Ah.
somehow there be a cross, whether like there's a church in the background, or she like peers over to a cross, like I don't know, somewhere
What
with the
if-
flames reflecting off of it. What do you? I don't know what.
What if the floor plan of the house, like he dies in like the center of her house because it blows up or whatever, and the floor plan is like T-shaped to get to each room, like cross-shaped almost.
Mm.
I don't know if that would work, and he dies like sprawled out,
Oh, sprawled
We
out.
could have him die. We could have him die in like the shape of a cross.
Yeah.
like
That's
when
yeah.
he
But
lands.
and like the floor shape is like his kind of like the
Yeah, right.
cross,
Yeah,
and it's like burning.
and like we could have her we could have her throw like the cross that he left on the bed into the house after she escapes. So like if we could have it like land on the floor kind of close to him, and then the shot pans up to him or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little bit so that there's the symbolism in that.
Mm-hmm.
How long does he take to die? Does he burn to death, or is he dead from the explosion?
Dead from the explosion.
Okay.
I think we should just make it automatic.
Whoa, hold on.
Yeah.
What if? But he has to. There has to be a way to make him stay where he is. What if she like nails him to the ground
Oh.
when he's unconscious?
Oh shit!
That
Uses
would be great.
picks up his gas mask. She picks up the gas mask, gasses him, nails his palms to the floor, and then blows up the house.
But does that make her too much of an anti-hero at that point?
Yeah,
that would make
that's
her kind of
fucking
like-
sadistic.
Oh, because then he's Jesus.
Yeah.
Because like she doesn't
yeah,
see
that-
it that
Oh,
way.
that's-
Also think about that. Like she doesn't
Yeah.
see it that way where he like with this whole religion thing. That's just like all
That's
in
true.
his mind.
Right.
Right.
I think that would, with the way we made the character, I think that's a little bit too sadistic for her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Too
You're right.
much,
But
yeah.
okay, so then she gasses him, grabs the gas mask.
And runs
then-
out.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
it causes the explosion.
Yes. Right. She figures
Yeah.
out what he's been using.
Yeah,
Mhm.
nice.
Because
Nice.
she. Oh,
Yeah.
another thing. Because she's a chemist, don't chemicals have like a different smell to them? So, and 'cause she's deaf, so her other senses are heightened.
Her smells enhanced.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
He
Yeah.
knows what it is. Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
that. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Yo, we made a fire movie.
We really
I am
did.
gonna
He
lie.
really did.
Yeah.
Man,
This
I
is
want to
fun.
hear now your guys' original.
Oh God.
Oh god.
So I'll start off with mine. So you guys can
Good.
gather your
Thank
thoughts. So
God.
originally, the name of my movie was going to be Hear No Evil. Um,
Oh, okay, yeah, because you started this.
That would have been a good title
So-
for ours.
Because so mine is going to be like, you know, like the Hear No Evil, Speak No Evil, See No, like that.
Mhm.
Mine was going to be kind of based around that. So that's my title. My main character, of course, is going to be Mary, who's deaf, and the antagonist was going to be the townspeople, like the townsfolk, because it takes place in the 17th century during like the witch,
Oh,
you know,
okay.
the witch
Got
trials
you.
and stuff like that. And the overview was going to be how like they think that she's very weird and that there's something up with her because she's deaf. So like
Mhm.
there's talks around town that she might be a witch, and like she could kind of tell that people are treating her differently. So she goes to other people who are being accused of being witches, and the one is blind and the other one is mute. So that was kind of be like the
Hmm.
basic outline of
Nice.
mine. And by the end of it, it was going to be they actually were witches, and like to get back at the town, they murder all of, like the townsfolk.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
That's pretty dark.
yeah. Mine went very dark.
Yeah.
But I liked thinking about it in a sense of Mary in this story is a little bit more weak, more timid, because you know she's very scared of what they're gonna do because like you know men ran society,
Hmm.
so she's a lot more scared of what could happen to her. And by the end of it, she becomes a lot more strong, more powerful, being with them
True.
when she's inflicting this revenge.
Mhm.
So, yeah. So yeah, that was my story. You're no
Mm.
evil.
Nice.
Nice. That's cool.
Let's go with you, Brianna.
Okay, so my story, you're gonna recognize this. Ryan might recognize, and Nick might recognize it. So the
Uh-oh.
setting is a house and the woods behind it, and like it's on like a property with woods. It's set in modern day. The protagonist is a teenage girl and her friends, and the antagonist
Wait a sec.
is the stalker.
Sorry. Sorry, this isn't Bryson Stewart, right?
No, you're right. Yes.
No.
This is okay. So this is based on a story I wrote in like middle school. And I've sent it. A few of you know this story,
Yeah.
and basically it's about these girls who get these texts from this stalker guy, and it was actually based on. I was at my friend's house, and she was getting text messages from a number she didn't know. So that's where I got this idea.
Oh.
We started writing it at the
That's
house
scary.
that night. So
That's kind of cool.
it's like the stalker, like the whole story is just like trying to like get in their heads, and like they're trying to like find out who he is, and stuff goes wrong. And get ready for this. The title is very good. It's called The Sleepover Gone Wrong. So
Nice.
that's that.
Nice. All right, Nick, your turn.
Okay, so mine involves. I was not descriptive with my character names when I was creating this, but pretty okay. So family of four, modern day. They all kind of a very connected family, so they have like Find My Friends alternative on there. It's saying like where they are at all times, and they start doing that because there's this serial killer on the loose in the town, and somewhere along the line, this person's gonna start stalking them, and it was going to be he was gonna kind of like leave them clues as to who he was and see if they could figure it out, or not really, not so much who he is, but like what kind of person he is and what he's doing and where he is and what he's using. Kind of almost like a reverse Clue, where the victims are trying to find out who this murderer is or who the stalker is. And
Scary.
I knew the ending. I was pretty certain on the ending. I'm not really sure about the middle and what the climax would be. But
Yeah.
at the end, he would die somehow. They'd win. They kind of beat his game, and he'd die. But then something would go wrong, and they would also kill them. They'd have to like kill themselves in the process, like some kind of fire or explosion or poison, something. Then
All right.
At the end, the last few shots, all the cop cars showing up, and the news reporters kind of like doing a report on like what the neighbors and what they heard, and the report like starts with blah blah blah, family of four family of four dead with one extra body, happened on the same night as other killings around the town that were happening, and that killer is still on the loose. So the entire time, the family thinks it's the stalker. The family thinks the stalker is the guy who's running around town, when in reality it's completely somebody else, and that guy is still on the loose.
Oh.
And then it ends.
I like that.
That's
I like that. I love endings like that.
Yeah.
And that's
That's
kind of
cool.
like the Black Christmas. It's similar to the Black Christmas. ending,
Similar.
where
Yeah.
You think that they got him, but at the end you find out, uh-oh,
Uh-oh.
he's still in
there.
the house.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, let's go with you, Skippy.
Okay.
Let's hear your story.
All right. So because we're using Pure for the other one, I'll go with Sleepwalker for this one. It's set in
nice.
like a late 1800s, early 1900s Chicago, and it centers around James White, who is an up-and-coming news reporter in the area, and he's investigating numerous murders around the Chicago area, and he's finding like weird notes at the site and everything.
Mhm.
And so, as he dives deeper into the murders, and they're very brutal murders, and they all have like religious significance for something. I haven't pieced together because it's very basic stuff that I've written. But his brother Ricky looks up to him and follows him around everywhere, and his brother is like trying to follow in his footsteps almost. And then somewhere along the line, they're like, I don't know, So at some point they go on a steamboat for some reason. I just thought that a steamboat would be cool instead of like murder mystery on a train, murder mystery on a steamboat.
Oh,
Going down
okay.
the Mississippi River to New Orleans.
Oh,
And
Ooh.
at some point his brother dies on the train.
Oh.
And there's like no evidence for anyone except for him. It all leads back to him.
oh,
And so he's like freaking out. He has no idea what's going on. So they get to New Orleans, but he's like in custody, I guess you could say. And
Yeah.
think of the time period. He's also African American, and they're not treating him the best that they could because he's going farther down south with every. So
they're racist. So it's
yeah, very
some
racist.
racial stuff.
But so somehow he escapes and comes back up to Chicago, and then he talks to his mother about the entire thing, and she tells him stories about himself when he was younger and how he would sleepwalk, and he would always do this, that, and the other thing, and it turns out that it was him the entire time.
Oh,
There was a Criminal Minds episode like that where a guy, he was sleepwalking and like he was like killing people, but he didn't know.
I don't
Wow.
watch that, so I had no idea.
No, I know.
Yeah, as a disclaimer, I have no idea. Like, I really don't watch horror all that much. So if that's already been done, I apologize. But that's where my mind.
No,
went.
that's very cool.
That's a cool
That's
idea.
Very cool.
So. But it's like,
All right, Bill.
yeah. Yeah.
All right. So I had my two drafts. One was really bad. One was actually the semi-true story of the Mad Gasser of Montoon,
Okay.
which we sort of incorporated in our story.
Yeah.
I encourage you guys to look into that. But this other story was about. Oh god, this is bad. So I love tongue-in-cheek horror movies. Like, I fucking love, like, horror movies that aren't supposed to be taken that seriously.
Like Clue.
Like,
It's not really
Yeah,
horror, but like I love that movie.
right, exactly right. Like, it's like very, like my, I don't know if this is
Troll
totally
two?
true, but I really, like, don't, yeah, I don't think so. I don't know about that one. I like really, really, really dark comedy. That is almost like a horror movie. But anyway, so
okay.
my thing was that Kevin Kline, which sounds a lot like Calvin Klein now that I'm thinking about it, was going to be our protagonist, and he was going to face off against the evil Dr. Scientist.
Okay.
I think I was drunk when I wrote this. I may have been actually under the influence of
Wait.
And yeah, he was gonna live in Anytown, USA. Okay, yeah, so I kept this very purposely vague. But his whole thing was gonna be that he was this high school student, and they were gonna uncover this whole thing where this guy is making weed. So, okay, he's growing weed in his basement, and the weed changes you into a deranged killer. And the thing was going to be that he is, like, the dude, like, he is, like, a big believer in, like, DARE. And so it was going to be like, look what happens when you actually smoke weed. And so it was going to be this whole thing.
God.
Where, like, all, like, the, like, absolutely fake shit, like, you hear about weed, was going to actually be true, like, true in this dude's too. Yeah.
Oh my god.
And it was.
That would be really funny.
It's called "Where Evil Grows."
Oh.
So, actually,
100% watch that movie.
actually,
That's
yeah.
fantastic.
Dr. Scientist is probably my favorite. That's
the
my
doctor
rapper.
scientist.
Yeah. It's really funny.
Oh, that's amazing.
So yeah, I'm surprised I was able to contribute anything good to our combined year.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's fantastic.
Shit, yeah.
So, all right, before we end, this is for our two guests. I saw this from another podcast, the What's Good podcast, and I like the idea and I want to incorporate it. So, all right, so for both of you, I'll just say this and then I'll ask you, separately. So you can hear it once and then I'll ask you a second time. What's a goal that you have for yourself? And once you achieve that, goal, we can invite you back on the podcast. so you can kind of talk about it. You know what I mean? So what's a
Okay.
personal goal you have for yourself that when you achieve it, we'll invite you back on the podcast and you can talk about it a little bit, as well as with our other topic we do for that episode. So Skippy, we'll start with you,
Okay.
and it could be anything.
All right. Well, you know, I'm trying to do the whole YouTube thing, and I've surpassed 100 subscribers. I'm very proud of that. And
Nice, congrats.
Wow,
Yeah.
nice.
My goal is to hit 200 by my birthday, if not just to hit 200. Nice.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it a little simple, just because I also you know, I'm trying to motivate myself to be productive with making videos and, you know, learn how to actually use Premiere Pro, because I only know very basic things about it. So I want to get better with editing and just make better content and get those subs. So yeah.
All right.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a great. Listen, once you get those 200, we'll bring you back on the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds
we can
great.
talk about it.
Thank
what
you
you
so
did.
much.
No problem. So, all right, Brianna, what about you? What's a goal
Oh
that you have?
gosh. I have a lot of goals, but you know, also taking it day by day.
Nice.
A lot of them are personal goals that I don't know if I want to publicly disclose on this.
of course. Only, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, you don't have a choice.
Brianna would like to promote every drug. Personal
Still.
goal first.
I can't really think of anything. I guess maybe just like doing well in school. I don't know, because like this semester went pretty well, but maybe doing well next semester. That's the only thing I can think of right now.
Is there a
my
certain
head.
GPA or something that you're hoping for? That's a goal
Not
that you have.
not really. Just like vibing, just vibing. You
Just
know,
vibing.
just vibing.
All right, we'll
And-
say
Let's
if you
be
get an A in chamber singers, we'll bring you back on the podcast.
Oh my god, I don't know how I'll ever do that. That's literally the hardest class.
I'll tell you what. Here, how about we'll give you a goal in a way. So
Okay.
if this podcast gets over, we'll say 100 views, we'll bring you back on and we'll do a dramatic reading of the story.
Yes. Yes.
I will
Is that a
agree to
good one?
that.
Yes.
I'll agree to that.
Yes, that would be
We
awesome.
can
All
do
right. You heard it here. 100 views on this video, and it'll be a dramatic reading of it. And
We can do the
invite
entire
a lot
thing.
of people.
Oh yeah.
We'll invite
Oh,
people so that we have some actresses,
Definitely.
voice actors. stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Mhm.
All right. So there we go. We got our goals.
All right.
Is there
Okay.
anything
Good
else you
idea.
guys want to add before we finish it up?
Is this the first one of the new year, or did we film before the new year?
We
What?
filmed the
reviewing,
We filmed the paranormal. Yeah, the reviewing ones. the paranormal
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
which
okay,
is going up
right.
tomorrow, by the way,
Yeah.
at the time of this
Alright.
recording.
Nice.
Hey,
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
nice.
Let's make
Well, all right.
2020 fun, everyone.
Exactly.
Hasn't
been-
the most fun that we can.
Yeah, it has not been lately,
Yeah.
but from here on out, let's do it.
Listen, it can
Well,
only get
yeah.
better, right?
Exactly.
Right,
We'll get
yeah.
back From here.
Seriously.
But all right, thank you everyone for watching this podcast, and thank you, of course, to Brianna and Skippy for being guests. We loved having you
Thanks
here.
for having
Yeah,
us.
that's great.
Thank you. I've had a great
It was
time.
a lot of fun.
Me too.
We definitely have some more plans for guests in the future, so be on the lookout for that. But
be
our
fun.
next podcast will be on the found footage genre of
Okay.
horror.
Holy shit! I am so
So
excited.
excited. So
I
excited.
am so excited for that. Like
We have
I'm
so much to
actually
talk
so
about.
Mhm.
That would be like a 2-hour episode.
I have one more movie to watch for it. I have one more movie, and it's
One more.
Be My Cat, a film for Anne, and I am so excited to watch that.
Oh,
Wow.
I don't know if you guys have seen it yet.
I have
can say
not.
If it was good.
I might need a bit more time to, but I might have a marathon of found footage once I get back home.
If you need more time, then we could plan a
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
quick
I wa-
podcast before that.
I want to check our list. Our
Mhm.
list. Well, we could probably do that after.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
we can
so-
do that after. But all right, thank
Yeah.
you again to everyone for watching. Thank you to Sam for producing our intro, and thank you to Nick for composing it. hit him up on any social media to compose anything that you might want to
yeah.
be composed. And remember, don't talk to strangers. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.